Good afternoon. It's just not a good afternoon, it's a great day to celebrate what we have been wanting to achieve for several years. And that was to take this 100-year-old building and make it a state-of-the-art museum so that we can preserve the heritage and artifacts of Somerville. Best of all, to make it accessible for all. We are here today celebrating due to the hard work and dedication of so many museum heroes by joining our capital fundraising campaign. Our goal was to reach $2.7.5 million. We almost believed it would be impossible, that it could be very hard to do so. But with the help of so many, we accomplished our goal. We, the museum trustees, would like to thank so many. We, the museum, trustees, would like to thank so many that have allowed our success to happen. First, our major contributors, the Somerville Community Preservation Board. They also believe that this museum is important to our citizens, and we thank their board members so much for their support. Also, those very generous contributors giving $50,000 to $300,000. Starting with our longtime museum board trustee, and the reason why this museum has been able to remain open all these many years. That's our major contributor, Regina Pisa. And a gentleman and a businessman who believes in giving back to the community where he does business, and that's Arthur DeMoulas from Market Basket. Also, Post-19 American Legion. My fellow veterans and friends, that when I asked them to contribute, they most certainly did. And our thanks to each and every member. And Tufts University, that not only was a major contributor, but also certainly played a role in the history of Somerville when in 1890 gave Somerville so important gift, Nathan Tufts Park, also known as Powder House Park. Also helping us to the finish line was the many community-minded businesses and professionals that donated $5,000 on up to $50,000, and several that donated $1,000 to $5,000. Also, hundreds of our friends and neighbors that contribute $5 to $1,000. We also should not forget the in-kind donation from Somerville Elemental Line, Ilio LaRusso, for his gift of the wonderful railings surrounding our garden and patio. Again, all this success was due to the generosity, determination, and hard work of our Campaign for All fundraising board. Our several volunteers and our great museum staff, Assistant Museum Director Allison Dresden, Lady Sons, and Sean Devereaux, and the lady of this house, Evelyn Battinelli, that for so many years, have given so much to the museum of herself. Also, our two campaign co-chairs, former Governor Michael Dukakis and Kitty, and all the many museum heroes that also have given so much to this museum. The trustees thank each and every one of you so much. So now let me introduce to you the greatest museum director any museum could ever have, Barbara Mangan. You're on.
Hi, I'm just going to correct him and say I'm not the director, but the president of the Board of Trustees. And thank you very much for that kind introduction. So my goal today has been to give you 5 minutes on what it has meant to the museum to undertake this capital campaign. And I just, realize that it's been 10 years since we finished putting the roof on the building. Many of you will remember when we did the Raising the Roof campaign because we had a leaky roof. So many things have been done since that time. We've been We painted the exteriors, we painted the interiors. Most recently, we've redone all the floors in here, all with so much help from the Community Preservation Act Committee. And Roberta here, just with their help, doing so much to preserve the museum and get accessibility through the elevator addition, which also just opened up so many other things in terms of really bringing us into this century. And finally, getting the multipurpose room downstairs, which is, again, a way that we are professionalizing, and then the collection storage, which is my baby, because I'm an art conservator, and that's how I got involved with the museum. And my goal had always been to improve the preservation of the collections. And now we're really seeing it come to fruition. Our storage, it's in the basement, and I'll give tours to anybody who wants to see it when we're down there after this. And we're now able to actually undertake conservation projects and have them be sustained into the future. So I think that's about all I'm going to say, but I'm just so grateful for all of you and your support, and really making this museum such a great asset to the community and just the envy of everyone, I think. Thank you.
So I'm Regina Pisa. I'm not going to speak long. I think Jean and Barbara have really pretty much said it all. But there are so many people to thank for this. I want to just give a shout out to Rich Otheimer, who's here from Goodwin Proctor. It took, was it 2 years, Rich, or 3 years to clear the legal hurdles we needed to clear in order to actually start this project? And Rich gave of his time freely and generously, and we thank him for that. It took hundreds of people to get us where we are today. I mean, the CPA, so grateful for. Other foundations that, Barbara is our magician, our grant-making magician, applied to so many other foundations. But then most impressive was the community support that we got. The folks who rallied in the community, whether it was $10, we had people who were giving $10 a month, whether it was $10 or $100,000, the community rallied for us, and this is what this museum is. It's a community museum. It's the museum who is your neighbor, and so the fact that we got so much community support meant a lot to all of us. So anyway, thank you all very much. We never thought of the 2.75 million, we've raised 2.7. We have 50,000 to go, which I'm optimistic will get done. But thank you all for your support and celebrate this wonderful little gem of a museum. Thanks very much.
So I just want to thank everybody for coming out, and on Regina's note, today is the last day to get your name on that exterior donor wall. So for $1,000 or more, you can be memorialized at the museum forever. So make sure you make that donation today. And thank you all just for coming out and celebrating with us the completion of these renovations. We're so proud of this space and all the spaces in the museum, and we're really looking forward to the future. We're thinking about accessibility, not just in terms of physical building, but also in terms of programming, communication, and what it means for us in the future as a museum of the 21st century. So on that note, we've been discussing programs ideas that reflect the city that we live in today, including upcoming exhibits, Museo Emigrante, Stories of Resilience from Somerville's Padres Latinos, as well as an upcoming exhibit about a popular Nepalese festival in the fall, and that will reflect a big Nepalese community we have in the area. We also, we have a big exhibit that we're working on we're calling it the Semi-Permanent Exhibition, which will be funded in part by ARPA, and that will include all the hallways on the second floor, the staircase, the demi-gallery, and we're excited about creating a narrative about the history of the museum with a collection of items from our historic collection. So stay tuned for that. And right now we're launching our annual call for community curators. So for anybody who has an interesting idea for exhibition proposal, please check out our website, ask us questions. We're excited about this program every year, and it's how we get so many wonderful exhibits like Blue, the one you're in right now by Martha Friend. So check that out. And we're really just looking forward to what the future holds for us and the community of Somerville. And we're excited that we're part of it, and we hope that you'll continue to support us as we push forward to be the progressive, creative, and inclusive museum that we thrive to be. So thank you all so much.
My name is Gene Broom. I was the former mayor of Somerville 1980 to 1990, and I'm a trustee for this museum and proud of it. We've been talking for so many years to make this place accessible to all, and we finally reached that goal. We had to raise a lot of money, we had an awful lot of help, and because of that, we are successful, and we're here today to thank everybody for what they have done for the museum. There's a lot of heroes out there, and they helped us get started, and now they're going to help us continue. Well, we had to do an awful lot of things to make it accessible. The main thing was to put an elevator in, because we never had an elevator in this building, and this building is over 100 years old. So that was the main thing, and as you know, prices today are no joke, and putting an elevator in cost an awful lot of money. With the help of the demolers, Arthur Demolers from Market Basket, he gave us a good piece of change to do so. And then plus the fact of all the other problems that we have with the basement, having mold and water and so forth and so on. So this was no easy task, but we reached our goal, and we're here to celebrate.
Hi, I'm Diane Suffredini, Somerville High, class of 1960. And our class was very instrumental in helping out with the campaign to refurbish and rebuild in the Somerville Museum. And we were able to raise $1,100 towards their campaign, which we're very grateful for all the classmates who contributed. So we're very proud of the class of 1960, and we hope in the future, like always, the class will be able to help out in any other Somerville endeavors. Thank you.
My name's Stephen Mackey. I am with the Somerville Museum Board of Trustees. This is the most exciting time to see this building after all these years finally completed and able to implement the mission of the organization, which is to reflect the arts, history, and culture of the community. So it's an exciting time, and it's great to see the building kind of blossom into that. When the building was being built in the 1920s, they laid the cornerstone in 25, and they built the building as they raised the money. So for a few years, there was just a cover over the basement with the foundation built. Then they began to build what they called the superstructure, which was the upper level. And they had just gotten to the old Historical Society, of all volunteer organization, had just gotten to completing the roof. And it was October 1929. The stock market crashed, the Great Depression. The building was partially completed inside, but was largely a shell. In the 1950s, they made a tremendous acquisition, which is the Charles Bulfinch Flying Double Staircase. That was from 1792, and it had been in two other properties actually before it was here, and it was rebuilt in here in the 50s. But still, there were exposed brick inside. The building had never been totally finished, and the organization kind of struggled along. Now we have heating, ventilating, air conditioning, we have accessible bathrooms, we have an elevator that makes all three levels of the building accessible, which is tremendous not only for visitors but also for people who would work here, and for moving the collection around. It is important. So it helps in all kinds of ways. The building, in that regard, works so much better than it did for most of the 20th century.
I'm Allison Drausner. I'm the executive director here at the Somerville Museum. And we're here today for a celebration event, an open house, celebrating the end of our renovations, or most of our renovations. Now that we're ADA compliant and more accessible, we're excited to celebrate that with the community. So one of the most important renovations is the elevator. We installed an elevator. This changes sort of the use of the building, allows us to be more accessible to the entire community. We've also made some smaller changes, doorknobs and signage, and we're thinking about accessibility in a larger way. Not just physical building accessibility, but also accessibility to our programs, communications, social media, website, and so forth. So we're excited about the future. We've been renovating the collection storage area, and while bringing back the collections, which we're in the process of doing right now, we're processing and documenting everything in the collection so that it will be more accessible online, virtually, and for researchers, scholars, and curators. One of the most challenging parts of this process was trying to stay open and active during a renovation. For anybody who's renovated any part of their home or business, that's a big challenge and comes with a lot of complications and flexibility, but we all just sort of pushed through and remained open during the course of that, and now we're reaping the benefits of having that complete. So now that we're mostly renovated, we're excited about being able to apply for more grants, federal grants, to help support our programs, to really elevate programs, continue with them, and build on our current programs, potentially grow as an organization. We're excited about the prospects that this all involves.